I don't want to.
Most of y'all know me, but I'm Dave Moore, and here we are again, right? So I do have a few prepared remarks that I'll just go over. Because we're here because the Cleveland County Commissioners have a resolution that they apparently, I don't know, haven't read. But what are we supposed to do with those guys? How are we supposed to handle these guys? Because they have a resolution that is basically a scam, okay? It prances around and poses as something that only deals with frontage roads and access points, only deals with the Indian Hills Road. But the OTA has already said that you can't have one turnpike without the other one. So that's not true. And they say that they don't support building any turnpikes, but at the same time, they support building frontage roads and access points. Well, you can't have those without turnpikes. So this resolution today is basically to approve building the turnpikes. That's really what they're up to. So the people of Norman have already decided this. Hey, you guys, come on in. The people of Norman and our city council, they've already decided this subject last year. Remember when there was a resolution before the city council to approve the frontage roads and access stuff and all of that, and it was denied, it was turned down. So here comes the county commissioners and want to do the same kind of thing. And so I'm here to tell them no, and I guess you guys are too. Yep. And I'm also going to ask them to make a decision because they need to decide who they serve. They are public servants.
There you go.
Are they going to serve the citizens of Cleveland County and the people of Norman, or are they going to serve the OTA and the contractors and the developers and, you know, the corrupt politicians? Is that who they're going to serve? So they need to decide today who they're going to serve. So if anyone else would like to say something.
I'm not a member of this group, but just strategically, public comments are after they make a decision.
They are?
Are you kidding?
Yes.
Wait, what did you just say?
Public comments are after they make their vote.
Right.
So, I'm not telling anybody to be disruptive or anything, but before the meeting starts, you could say whatever you want, and you could be loud, or they might ask you to leave, but you don't get to comment until after the vote. So,
well, that's not going to work.
Do with that what you will.
No, it's not going to work at all.
It's not going to work at all.
Which means you never get to make a comment about something they're going to vote on because you don't know about it to comment on the last agenda.
Right.
So,
That's right.
Well,
but before the meeting, you can be talking and doing what you want.
thank you for that.
I called Jacob McHughes, who's my county commissioner, actually. And I talked to him on 3 different occasions, one time for an hour, and he did most of the talking. And I was very disappointed. I invited him over to my house. I told him I'd be very nice and polite, but I wanted to talk to him face to face, maybe with a few of my neighbors. And he refused to meet with us anywhere to discuss it. You know, and I live on 60th, and he got a little bit agitated with me, and he hung up on me. And I mean, that was the last time I talked to him. But
What was his name again?
Jacob McHughes. He's from Ward 5.
Just wanted to make
He's what,
sure.
Ward 5?
Is he county commissioner 2, I believe?
I think it's 2, which is,
Well, see, we just moved to 60th about a year ago.
Okay.
so one, which is Cleveland wraps around.
Right.
They all chop up the core.
Right.
And I think 2 is the one that spreads out.
I'm on 60th and Lindsay. So I know for a fact he's my county commissioner. So that's where it stands. And I mean, he also said, I'd rather talk to the people in my district one-on-one. He said, what makes you afraid of a crowd?
Yeah.
We're not going to attack you. You know, you represent us. You're not going to meet with us.
Harder to gaslight. I mean, it's easier to gaslight one-on-one.
Right.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Yeah, he could spin a story pretty good.
Hey, how are you?
What'd you say your name was?
Dave Moore.
Right on, we're down here at
How are you?
the County Commissioner's office.
Kelly, did you want to say something?
No, I was just going to point out that back in 2022, the Cleveland County Commissioners signed a resolution saying that they would oppose turnpikes. So
Yes, they did.
It's interesting that we're here again, and I also think it's interesting that they only allowed for 10 minutes of public comment and limited that to 2 minutes per person, which is 5 people. I did a little research, and there are, in the 2022 U.S. Census, they estimated Cleveland County to have around 300,000 people, and they will be happy to leave that to comment by 5 people, which is a huge, terribly small percentage of the population that has a chance to come speak. And apparently it doesn't matter anyways, because we speak after they vote. So,
I'm sorry, ma'am, I came up late. Who are you?
Kelly Wilson.
Oh, you're county, I'm sorry, I'm deaf.
No.
And I can barely hear you at all. Can you speak up? Okay, which county commissioner?
Oh, I'm not in. I'm
You gonna say something?
Yeah.
Okay.
So keep all of that in mind while we're in the meeting today. In 2022, the Norman City Council passed a resolution saying no turnpikes. In 2022, the Cleveland County Commissioners passed a resolution saying no turnpikes. Last year, the city of Norman, what do we call it, guys? The council?
City Council.
Refused the same almost identical resolution that's showing up here today to the commissioners. So keep that in mind while you're watching what's going on in there. And quite honestly, to have comments after they take a vote, there's something seriously wrong with that. And I think we need to let them know that.
Right on, there you go.
Seriously
You bet.
wrong. For sure. I mean, I think if you feel inspired to say something, by God, this is the United States of America, you just stand up and say it. Right? Okay. Would you like to speak?
Sure.
Okay, Rick, this is Rick Sunday. Rick, what's your input here?
My input is that we just
Wow, it's a sign.
the biggest weapon that they have against us is ignorance. There are not enough people in this whole situation or in the game. We need more people like us to come here and let them know, remind them that they're elected officials. They're not enlightened monarchs who know better. For us, we know what we want. We've spoken that. We voted on it, and they just need to follow the rules. It just feels like we are being superseded by an oligarchy, by a bunch of rich people who are telling them what to do, and they've forgotten what their job is. So let's remind them what their job is.
There you go.
Thank you.
You wonder who butters their bread, right?
Anyone else would like to speak?
Okay, now I'm going to try to record this meeting whenever I go in there.
Okay.
I've been thrown out several times, but it happens, you know.
Well, I got 2 cameras and they're both going to be rolling.
There you go. We're going to get down. People are going to know about this for sure.
Yeah, the meeting's doesn't start until 1, so
Love y'all. Right on.
we got a little time to hang out.
I think I missed it.
Here we
I have
go.
a curious question.
Sure, go ahead.
There, I got it.
So I've kind of followed this along the surface, trying to be involved where I can. And then we listened to the meeting the other night and just realized there's so much more deeper in play, right?
Yeah.
I'm from Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I remember when this was first announced, Governor Stitt talked about how he said we need to have a loop, we need to, and he referred to the DFW area, and those loops are so congested all the time, it's done absolutely nothing to solve the traffic.
Right.
So I was there this weekend, and yes, occasionally I do take that turnpike toll road to bypass the I-35 traffic. So what I noticed is even in that condensed high population area, the turnpike that sits right next to I-35 proportionately is less traveled than I-35. So people would rather sit in traffic than actually pay an additional fee to escape the traffic.
Attention. Obviously, sir, do I need to get up to 140 decibels?
Probably.
Obviously, hey, we're going to have this meeting at 1 o'clock. Some of you may know this meeting got in the way of filing the referendum petition appeal because of, we had scheduled that for this afternoon, and we've moved mountains to move that to tomorrow afternoon. So this is kind of a Twin Peaks, two lighthouses kind of thing. Tomorrow afternoon at the steps of the Supreme Court in Oklahoma City, so another during the workday thing that we have to do during the workday, another thing that we're kind of having to do on short notice, tomorrow at 1:30 on the steps of the Supreme Court Courthouse, we will be filing the referendum petition appeal. Please come to that if you can. I know this is tough to get to. I know all these things that happen in the middle of the afternoon and work week on spring break are tough to get to. But please get to that, because these issues are interconnected, and we want to make sure that people can have their voice heard on all the things that are important in our community.
Did you say what time?
1:30 p.m. Supreme Court.
You're trying to protect your children.
I know you did.
On the way up.
Okay.
So there we go. Let's all make our voice heard here today, and let's all make our voice heard up in Oklahoma City tomorrow. Thanks.
Yeah. We got a few minutes. If anyone would like to address the group, now's your chance.
Explain how you can subvert the Constitution and have a vote before comments. Can you comment on that? How is that? You can knock that all you want. I want to know how you can subvert the Constitution. We voted for you. Answer that question, please.
Mr. Grissom, you have somebody to lead us off?
Ron, you lead, correct?
Lord, we want to thank you for such a beautiful day, Lord. We ask that you look over those that have been protecting us, Lord. And we'd ask that you also look over those that have been dealing with the wildfires this last week, Lord, with the damage. We'd ask that you bless this event. We'd ask that you remind us all to be calm and stay within the ground that we're all trying to do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Item G, items of business. Number 1 is presentation by Allison Enright with Certain Engineering District Number 5. Allison.
This is ours.
Make it again?
I can't hear you.
So the engineer doesn't want to show up, and we're the ones who ask you to please vote no.
It has nothing to do with the term.
Well, this is important
Please,
to us.
it's very important to us.
Ma'am, that's enough. All right?
What do you mean it's enough? We would like to have our comments heard before you vote. Is that really so outrageous? Be fair.
Item 2 is approval of the Certain Engineering District Number 5 SERB plan, the County Improvement Project Allocation Plan for
Please don't approve this.
fiscal year 2026 to 2031.
How can you approve it without seeing the presentation? There's no engineer here.
Nobody can hear you.
Please don't vote for that.
I think that section E would be an open, says that in order to even you have to be open in a public.
We can't have interruptions, okay? Please.
They work for us, Sheriff. I mean, come on, tell them to do the right thing.
Would you just be patient and let this process move forward?
How come I can hear her, but I can't hear him?
Please.
Okay. Item number 3 is resolution requesting the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority to resume its original plan to design and construct frontage roads and additional access points. The resolution is part of the Oklahoma Supreme Court's decision regarding OTA's authority, which is unquestionable result in the east-west connector being installed across Cleveland County, and therefore providing frontage roads and access points as necessary to provide a safe and efficient transportation system for the use and benefit of the Cleveland County citizens.
The benefit of us. We're the citizens.
Our house is on the line.
Now, vote on this. Do not vote on this. No.
Listen, we can't have disruptions, okay? You'll have your chance.
Can we after they vote? After they vote? You want us after they vote?
Listen.
You guys have your voice, yes. But you cannot, listen to me, but you cannot disrupt the meeting.
Wow. Why?
So let them do it, and then you're going to have your chance to talk.
You're going to hear our voice when we vote against all of you.
Yeah.
You know you're voting against the citizens if you vote this in. You know it.
We already been voted on. You don't have to
Wait
read
to
it.
do public comment after Jay.
Yeah, you got
This is wrong.
It's wrong.
Cleveland? McHughes?
Yes.
You all vote all the time.
Wrong. You vote against you.
All right, item H is new business. Do we have any new business? All right, item I is commissioner statements and announcements.
Shame on you.
Thank you for the
Bathroom deal.
for the help.
You guys will never be reelected.
Never.
Awesome.
Yeah. This is emergency.
Shame on you! Please. He's saying be quiet, let us rob you.
Yeah, what's that?
We gotta steal yourself.
Be good people.
Fire department was, or Cedar Country, excuse me, was out. I was at the EOC building with the city of Norman. First serve basis and are limited to 2 minutes per person for a total of 10 minutes.
We support the resolution and we thank you on behalf of the city.
It's not going to get
Way to stand up for the developers.
Where was the sign-in sheet to speak? There wasn't one out here. I've been here since November.
Is Rob Norman available?
Yes, sorry. I don't need a microphone. I don't know if these work, and I've only got 2 minutes, so I'll try to get to the point. Gentlemen, the world is changing. It's no longer okay for a government power to exercise eminent domain just because it can. That world is changing all over the place. I hope you read my comments earlier today. I'll try to summarize some of that now. I found 2 statements in the resolution flat out wrong. First, that the east-west connector will unquestionably be installed in Cleveland County. Second, that those statutes and cases you cited just automatically allow you to build these frontage roads and to build roads into a municipality. Unfortunately, what you have done is you've done this in the reverse order of the city of Norman. The city of Norman was prepared to do exactly what you did today in exactly the same manner you did today. But instead, they spent a month listening to the public. They spent a month listening to the PIKE and the Oklahomans for Responsible Transportation people about why these resolutions are a bad idea. They undermine our legislative efforts. They undermine our legal efforts. And guess what? The OTA does not follow through with them. Your Oklahoma County commissioners know that. Please talk to them about their experience with that. What I would say is the legal questions over the east-west connector and the south extension are not settled. You passed this resolution, and I said in my comments, I am not going to, because of what you've done, I am not going to, and I don't have the time to right now, set out our legal and legislative strategy. But it is a winning strategy. And it is more and more a winning strategy as the people rise up, as the courts understand they are accountable to the people. And what you've done today is
Is Tim Morris available?
Well, I'll become probably the fourth most unpopular person in this room, besides the 3 of you and Deidre. I've lived in Cleveland County for probably close to 50 years. None of us want the turnpike. I mean, none of us. I mean, including us. And my family has $30 million worth of real estate in Cleveland County. None of us want the turnpike. Okay, it's just but it's unfortunate. It's a necessity. I know it's tremendously emotional.
Go ahead and let him speak.
I know it's tremendously emotional, especially for you people that are losing your land. I mean, I can't even imagine that. But I do also understand that the exit roads are needed. Why? Why?
You have $30 million worth of real estate. The rest of us don't have that luxury.
It's not, just so you guys understand, it's noble. It's not affected by the turnpike. I'm talking about economic development in this county. We don't need it. Well, I want to applaud you guys for making a decision that definitely is very tough, but it's best for the county. And that's really it's what's best for the entire county, Cleveland County, especially what we're seeing with the highways being backed up. East-west corridors are not accessible. This is something that unfortunately is coming. Whether all of us in this room like it or not, the turnpike is coming. And the access roads is what you guys are doing. You're not approving the turnpike. You're telling that the turnpike is coming and we need access. We don't want it.
The turnpike is not coming.
The people that's needed for public safety and everything else. So in my opinion, this is just my personal opinion. I wanted to come up and thank you guys for a tough decision that was made and definitely very unpopular.
Pam? She went back to work.
All right. Rick, is it Sondad?
That is correct. I really don't know exactly what to say, except that, if I can use a football term, you're doing an end run around the people of this community. You're not listening to the voices of the people who represent, who you're supposed to represent. And by the way, you represent all of them, the ones who voted for you and the ones who didn't vote for you. And I'm just kind of beside myself. I had prepared things to say, but I'm disappointed. I really am disappointed. Because the OTA is not the power of the people. It's some kind of an entity that just exists, and it doesn't really care about the people. And I really thought that you were here to care about us. And so as an educator, I try to teach good democracy to my kids every year, and how it's the power and the will of the people that need to be heard and should be heard all the time. Whether it's, and you know, I know there are people who are going to benefit from this, but there are more of us who are against it. And you've got two people who want it, and look how many people don't want it. How many more people in this community, and they're just uninformed. If they knew the whole story, like us who are in the path of it, they would be on our side, and you know it. And you know it. So do the right thing. I'm not quite sure why this is happening. Does anybody know why it's happening? Yeah. Kickbacks.
Thank you.
All right, this will be the last one, Randy Carter.
Appreciate the opportunity to be up here today. I don't have a lot. Like everybody else has said, I'm disappointed in your decision. I think it's the wrong decision. I think that we are possibly able to stop these turnpikes, and I think you guys have given up, and I don't appreciate that. But I want to make one point. This gentleman and the lady from Moore both spoke about the reason for this is for economic development. I don't know if you all are aware, but I'm under the impression that the use of eminent domain for economic development is against the law.
Yep.
So I think that's something that you all should consider. But I'm also under the impression on another issue that I've been working with one of your commissioners on, I was told that the county does not want to own roads within the city limits. So how has that changed, that attitude? Because, I mean, you guys have agreed to maintain these roads in perpetuity, is that the right way to say it? Okay. In perpetuity, but yet I hear that there's budget problems, that it's hard to take care of the roads that you have to take care of now. Right. You're putting yourself into a corner that I don't think you're going to be able to maintain. And you're kicking the can down the road to future commissioners to have to deal with this issue. That, I mean, from a practical matter, I think you guys made a really poor decision.
Yeah.
executive session for